Hello and welcome to the Gothic Unicorn. Today I am going to be putting together another 1/48 scale kit. Now this is from Petite Properties and came out of my 2020 advent calendar. So this means that this kit is not actually available on their website yet. It will be sometime in spring, I believe. But today I'm making a pair of waterfall bookcases. The kit comes with a nice set of instructions and all your parts laser cut. This one is MDF, but all the others are mount board and come in a nice little card that you have to cut them out of with a scalpel type craft knife. That's what I'm going to do next, and I'm also going to start by deciding on a colour and start adding a finish to my pieces before I start gluing them. It's far easier to paint them, colour them while they're flat rather than when they're made up. Now, removing the pieces is really easy. You have just got to cut along the little tabs in there with a sharp blade, and then the pieces come out. It's simple as that, and that's all I'm going to do. Is I'm just going to work my way around and remove all the pieces. The pieces have all been painted. Certainly all had a coat of paint. That bit needs some more, but I can always touch it up when it's together. And I'm going to start gluing. Now, I have folded the pre-scored lines on here. Those two need to be folded up a little bit, but at the moment they don't need to be into place. And I need to start with the smallest shelf. Because this is a waterfall bookcase, the shelves get bigger as you go further down. Now, I'm going to take some glue on my cocktail stick and I'm going to apply the glue along the edges of this tab, which is tiny. I'm going to put a bit on each side. And then I'm going to insert the tab into the slot. Oh, come on. Now, I did actually dry fit this nicely before I started filming, just to make sure I could get the bits to go together, and it all went together quite nicely. Now I'm going to... Now you have to make sure that these dry upright. Now it's not too bad in the case of this because of the slots and the fact that these pieces are quite small, but what I do is I use some building blocks, and you can fit them in and you can hold things in place like that. You'd use one on each side. If I wanted to use them on this, I can only use one because they won't fit between the shelves, as I discovered when I was trying to find some pieces that would fit. I have got two of the shelves in now. I'm about to do the third. This is really straightforward. From the kits I've done so far, I've got to say that the only thing you really have to think about when you're doing these is the finish you want for the pieces. You know, they are very to the point, and I think especially working at 1/48 scale, that is great news because it means you're not having to worry too much. glue, and I'll put that there, just to get this piece at 90 degrees. My next step is to fasten everything together, so I'll take my block out, and I've got to fold this piece at the bottom up so that it meets two side pieces, and then I've got some glue to apply. Now I've got to open that, and I've got to apply a little bit of glue to each of the shelves that I've just stuck in. I feel like I could do with more than two hands at the moment, and I'm going to repeat that on this side. I realise that the shelf's not ended up being completely level, but nevertheless we shall persevere. And then I get to hold this in place like this until the glue dries. So that's what I'm going to be doing for a while. Next, I've got to stick this little MDF piece in. Now this fits in the bottom, and if it's got to slide in quite snugly like that. So I'm going to start off by applying the glue onto the bottom piece there. A nice covering, but not too thick. And I'm going to slide a piece in. Now I need to check whether it needs to come. It needs to come flush with the front. So I'm going to get my tweezers, and everything's rolling about on my desk as it does. And I'm going to pull this forward. So this has got to fit to the front. There we go. So that fits like that. And then the final piece goes on top. Again, I'm going to glue onto the piece that's already there. Apply a nice dollop of glue. And take my little shelf, which is my very bottom shelf, and then that needs to be held in place. And then I'm going to have to touch up the paintwork on this. The second bookcase is slightly different, but the first few steps are the same. So I've got to glue and stick the shelves into place. Again, a little bit of glue along the tab, and then that goes into there. I could actually do with an even smaller piece of Lego this time to be able to stand these up, but I will persevere. And I'll just clean off the excess glue, because whilst a little bit of glue at 12th scale would be annoying, 1/48th scale it's going to look awful. And then I'll just drop the piece. So we want that to dry at that angle, and I'm just going to continue and put in the remaining two shelves. Now then, I have just stuck in the last shelf on this, and to make sure that it actually fits, you've got to make sure that it is at 90 degrees. So to do that, I've put the piece back into the piece that it's come out of, so that I can actually use my block at the correct height, at the flat height, so it will hold at 90 degrees. My next step is now to glue the sides in place. So again, I've got to put a small amount of glue on each of the 3 shelves. Which is fiddly. I'm just going to and then I have to hold the piece together like this until it dries. My final task, and hopefully this one will not get disturbed by a delivery, is to attach the front legs, which piece goes in place like so. Now this means I've got to put glue on the sides, the top and down there, but not the bottom of the sides because those bits of leg stick out. So I'm going to start off with applying the glue on both sides. It might be easier if I held this with tweezers, to be fair, but I've got it now. There we go. And this has to go in very snugly, like so. Little bit of wiggle, not much but a little bit, and then I get to put that aside to dry, and I also get to finish off the painting of the edges. So here we have my 2 finished waterfall bookcases. I haven't worried too much about the finish because I'm not sure where they're going for the moment. That one needs a bit more touching up on the front, or not, depending which project it will go in. And this one's looking quite good as well. Now I've also put in my little ruler so that you can see how small they actually are. If my big fingers are not evidence enough, you can see that they are tiny. I'm not sure, as I say, I'm not sure where they're going yet. They may go into my sort of semi-haunted house, which I'm building at the moment, or they may get put away for a future project. I don't know. I am thinking though that the books to go on those shelves are going to have to be minute, and that is quite frankly scary. Yeah, really scary. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed seeing me make another one of the Petite Properties kits. If you want to, you can like, you can comment, you can subscribe to see more. And until the next video, bye.